Well, I did plan a day of solar power today and stuff sort of relating to it, but instead I ended up doing some stuff that was very not solar power. Our washing machine. No, I'm not going to turn this into a hydro generator. We don't have any rivers here on our property, and I don't think the garden hose would give enough flow to make it really work. No, instead our washing machine decided to fuck out halfway through a wash, as they always do, and after a bit of deduction, a bit of googling and stuff, determined in the end it was the pump that had failed. Well, it hadn't completely failed, it was overheating about 2 minutes into its operation and thermaling out before it could pump enough water, and the washing machine was detecting that it wasn't being emptied, and so it was shutting down. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was lucky. I was lucky that I had a spare pump lying around. In fact, it was right here on this pallet. It's been outside probably for over a year, maybe just about 2 years. So I did a bit of a mix and match, and I've got what I believe is a working pump that I'm about to reinstall. Of course, in these smart drive washing machines, what people call a pump is not really a pump at all. It's just a motor assembly with an impeller on the end. The rest of the pump is actually formed by this moulding in the actual outer bowl. Very convenient for the manufacturer. Clearly these motors are overrun, because even this good one under a test is actually quite warm, so it's no wonder they end up with heating problems. So you can see there's quite a bit of rust and stuff on it, because as I say, it's been sitting out here. I didn't think I'd ever actually use it for something proper. I did experiment on it, using it once as a an inductive generator with this bit out of a vacuum cleaner, which I was trying to use as a Pelton wheel. Certainly worked really well as a miniature Pelton wheel, but this did not work as a generator. I need to find a permanent magnet thing to play around with that. So there's my, well, it's great because I haven't had to really do any sort of major jerry rigs or anything like that. So the parts from the original motor are this fan, because the fan on the old one was smashed off. This whole assembly here with the impeller and the seals, which was great because I didn't have to, you know, try to lever any of this apart. Found out that these just screw off, which is nice. And this back bracket I put off our newer but defunct motor because it looked nicer, and the bolts and the back cover. So what's of the motor that works, but the old motor is of course the coil and the, I don't know what you'd call this assembly, the flux assembly, whatever it is, you know, where the magnetic field goes, and the actual rotor itself, because I wasn't sure whether the problem here was with the coil. Well, it was with the coil, but the rotor may have caused it, and I don't know, you probably can't see that, but I can see a section of that winding there in the centre that looks discoloured, because this thing was making a funny smell when it got hot, so it was definitely overheating. So before it gets too dark, I'm going to reinstall this back in the washing machine. It's just it's so easy. I mean, if you ever have a problem with your pump in one of these washing machines, don't call a man, and anyone can do this. You just tip it over on its back. That just clicks and turns. In fact, I may even be able to do it on camera, although I probably prefer to do it with two hands. That just clicks in there and turns, and then you reconnect the earth and the power wires into their appropriate connectors, and you're away. You know, if I hadn't managed to do this, I would have just ordered a new motor pump assembly. So, piece of piss to do. Don't call the man, do it yourself. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll run the washing machine out here on the pallet just in case I've got some leaks or whatever, and we'll see how we go.